Welcome back.
Check the battery and none of them bitches. Hey,
We here, we back. On guard.
what's up, live? What's up, live? Shout out to all my live motherfuckers, cause we live in this motherfucker.
What's going on,
Actually,
family?
I'm wilding because I'm not even fully set up yet, and we are live in this motherfucker.
Yeah, man, we gotta get on it, man. We gotta get on it. Another great day for another great podcast.
Talking about, oh yeah, I'm supposed to play music too.
Well, no worries. I'm on game,
Alright, 'cause I was right.
and
I did it, you know what I'm saying?
since I'm already thinking about it, we're just gonna go with love and You can find the song anywhere.
Don't lie to
Where you find
me.
music.
Don't cry to me. Don't talk him down. If you love him now, I'm gonna get what I deserve tonight. Could be a bullet right between my eyes. Could be the love of my life. I just know I'm willing to fight. I just know I use all my might to make this woman into my wife. Don't give a damn what the situation's like.
And
So-
we there.
Sorry to the live folks, y'all couldn't hear the intro music, but we could.
Oh yeah, I
Make sure
tried
you
to sing it
check
a
out
little
the-
bit, you know.
Yeah, I know. You was killing it. But y'all gonna be able to hear that shit when we put the real video up. But we appreciate y'all rocking with us tonight. You know what I'm saying? So welcome to motherfucking episode 5 of On God with your boys in this motherfucker.
True.
I mean, I'm gonna go first like usual. It's your boy Pinpoint, aka Pinpoint the God, aka Tony Pepperoni, aka Gloria's only son, aka TKBX1, aka motherfucking Thick Dick Nick.
I was waiting
AKA,
for it.
yeah, hell yeah. AKA fuck you say to me, whore. And to my motherfucking left we have
L3, baby, you already know it's me. My only AK is the man of the future. We here, we live,
Yeah.
we ready to get it jiggy. We got some topics to talk about today because the world is crazy. And it seems like it don't stop getting crazy. Every day somebody wakes up with a new idea on how to be crazy.
Yo, no bullshit. Let's start this motherfucker off thinking about that, talking about that and all that. Let's talk about the state of Idaho.
The
Have you
state
ever
of
wanted-
Idaho.
Have you ever wanted to visit Idaho?
Never in my life.
Would you visit Idaho?
If I had to perform
Yeah,
there.
a performance.
Or to act or something. Yes.
Okay, understood.
So for financial gain, yes.
Financial gain.
That would be the only. I don't know. Maybe a lovely state. I don't know.
Maybe. Okay. Anybody that's in the lives, if you've ever been to Idaho, please chat in and tell us about your Idaho experience.
On Grand Theft Auto, I think there's a car called Idaho. That's the only thing I remember. about
which
Idaho.
Grand Theft though? Like this is like a bunch of
Which one? I think it was the last one.
5. All right.
It might not have been 5. You know what? I think it was right after Vice City.
Was it the one that had like the bikers and shit? Where you could? It was like one of the Grand Theft Autos had like a split game. Where you could
This
play
was
it.
the Russian. I think this was the Russian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it was. I think it was
might
called
have
the
been
Idaho.
Vice City or some shit. You're
No,
probably right.
no, that was after Vice City. Vice
After Vice
yeah,
City.
yeah.
I don't remember what the one with the Russian was called, but I know I had it.
I think it's 4. Grand Theft Auto 4.
That's probably just that
Yeah.
simple. I'm wild. Y'all can tell us in the comments. Or whatever,
Yeah,
when,
for
when you
sure.
watch, let me know.
It might have been
stupid I
also
am.
on Liberty City. But,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well,
What about Idaho?
yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
it's the
true,
reason I'm
yeah.
asking. So you would. I asked it that way because I feel like nobody ever talks about Idaho, and it's never normally in the news.
Aside from the joke. Right.
Yeah, Idaho.
Yeah.
And that they make potatoes and shit. But they're in the motherfucking
true.
news now, dog. They're
Idaho
in the
is in the
motherfucking
news?
news because Idaho is bringing back execution by firing squad, my nigga.
I did hear something.
Firing
about that.
squad, my nigga. Like,
I
dra-ta-ta, nigga. What? Yo. Okay, so look.
How you feeling about it?
I'm whatever because all of the shit is bad. Like as far as the way it feels to die.
There's
and
no
shit.
great way to kill people. I
Yeah,
don't
no,
think.
it's not. You know what I'm saying? However, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely. So it's gonna be
I mean, this
firing squad. Yeah,
Yeah.
hit me with this. Yeah, nigga. So they light niggas up. So it was a bill that was sent out, and it passed. It got the majority.
Oh, it actually passed?
It passed. The only thing they're waiting for is the governor to sign the bill into law.
Okay.
So if he's like, fuck that, that's not cool,
okay.
then no dice, but then his constituents will be like, bitch, you won't be the governor next year.
That is crazy because...
Fam.
Because I'm sure that's 50-50, right? Because you have the executioners, you have the ones who are like, it's my job, I do it for, I don't know, it's my job. But then you have the ones that are like, I'm ready to light these dudes up. Let's go. Put them on different.
And that's kind of what it's going to turn into. One of my first comments is, nigga, if you get pulled over by the police and you're a nigga, you are kind of already in front of a firing squad. And you didn't even get a trial yet.
Can be a little nervous.
You know what I'm saying? So just depending on what's happening, I know it's not every pullover, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Or we wouldn't be sitting here.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't change the fact that it's not that. Is, I think we've become more used to people getting...
Well, what's the appropriate way to kill people?
Right. Is there one? Because
in my mind, so there's two things. In my mind, it's like you just let them live out their life in this horrible condition. Maybe stop feeding them or stop feeding someone or something like that, which also sounds awful.
That's torture. That's a different. That's just,
all of that would be inhumane. Whereas the gunshot is supposed to be immediate, but it's not always immediate because there's a case in 1876, I think it was. No. I'm definitely getting the time wrong. 1876 seems wild, but there was a time. No, it might be
1817 was the cotton gin,
right?
I think.
But we'll have to find out. But there's a trial where they used to do this, and the dude actually survived, or
through the firing squad. Yeah, that's the thing. If you survive the execution, or is your trial like you free man?
Yeah, he was free. So there was that one, and then there was someone else who lived for like another 30 minutes after the firing squad. So they definitely suffered.
Of course. So here's the other thing. So I remember watching a show that was talking about, what they're currently used in most places, which is where they put you to sleep because they try to say that's more humane. But when you look up the drugs that most of the states are using, or at least were as of a couple of years ago, it's very inhumane. They say it's like a 3-drug cocktail, and like the first one is supposed to like numb you, and then the second thing they inject you with is supposed to like cease something else, and then the third thing is supposed to be the thing that like puts you out. But apparently each step is extremely painful. And it's not like what the companies presented that are selling it to the jail systems and the people that own the prisons or whatever. But the people that own the prisons are just looking at the bottom line. They're just like, I need the cheapest thing, so I need the cheapest drug.
How is it painful?
Fuck these people. But it apparently, so what I watched was very descriptive. But it's been a couple of years, so I don't want to do you or anybody watching a disservice. But I think it was like they were saying like one of the first things that was supposedly alleged as like one of the peaceful parts is actually burning through your veins. Like as soon as it goes in,
I was wondering
like
if that
just
if it
eating
felt
that shit
crazy.
up. Okay. And that the numbing agent doesn't do nearly enough numbing. So they say that they'll numb you before the burning. Shit runs through all your veins, but it doesn't. And then the third thing is like, which is supposed to actually take you out, is just like the icing on the cake. But so if that's the most humane way, you know what I'm saying? I've watched and read shit that's like, it's not fucking humane at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just easier to hide it. And
because
people
aren't
like thinking about it. It just sounds like they can't. They're already.
They're not going to tell you about it after the fact.
Yeah, so you don't know. You're not going to know unless you're
going. What's the right way to do it? Does it even have like in some ways it's like does it even have to happen? But then you think about some horrible cases like that's got to happen.
Because then some people say like, well, taxpayers shouldn't pay for that person to stay alive for another 50 years. But
especially because might have to get that right. But how much it costs. Per year, per person, it's pretty insane.
But they also say that the amount that you would pay to keep them alive is the similar amount that you have to pay for the execution. Because you got to I guess.
Yeah, but you pay for the execution once.
Do it. Right. You pay for it once, but they're saying that one-time fee is very comparable to sustaining a person at a low level of income spent over time. Because the jail already exists. All they got to do is feed them. They're feeding them the least possible nutrients available.
Right.
Like they're doing the worst things. But so it's not as expensive as you think. Because you're paying the guards regardless. There's prisoners there.
You're paying the guards.
Got to get paid.
But also the food, actually, even though it's not,
it's like fourth grade. Like
even though it's like it's not great quality food. It still costs them a lot. Apparently,
they subsidize. They write off. The people who taxes. They're a lot of the shit is freer than you think. The prisons are cash cows. Like there are companies buying them up to own the ownership of the ownership
Right.
because it's bringing in money.
But because
some
of
prisons
that,
make more than others because there's extremely inhumane conditions
Right.
for all prisoners, and then others make a little less because they're trying to be.
but it's also because of that. If you're selling something to that jail, you're just like government. You sell it to them
Subsidized.
way higher.
You would want to, but it wouldn't. It's still gonna get. They're gonna have subsidies and write-offs as the jail anyway. So there's probably a lot of backhand deals going on. Somebody knows somebody that has a food distribution company, and they're like, "Yeah, that's my cousin. He sends us all the grape drink." You know what I'm saying? Who knows?
Right.
All I know is they allegedly say that the prices are similar when you're considering keeping a prisoner alive and when you're considering the cost of the quote unquote execution or the quote unquote cost.
Which is interesting too, because like
It
costs
never
how
made
much?
sense to me, but I don't work there and I don't crunch the
Like
numbers.
how expensive is this drug that you're giving?
Right, and yeah, because change that because
this point,
it
just
can't
give
cost
them
that
fentanyl or
much
something.
to right.
Give them give them a nice high on the way out.
Well, here's the thing, because I would imagine that the firing squad should be cheaper than the drug cocktail. If the drug cocktail can be compared to housing a prisoner
Yeah,
for
for
25
sure.
to life,
Yeah.
then multiple bullets, however many bullets it takes, and the amount that you paid those people per hour to fire the bullets should be cheaper than the drugs, which are also inhumane, whether people know it actively or not. And then, you know what I'm saying? So back in the day of the hangings and the guillotines, none of that shit is comparable to being humane. So
Yeah.
there's not really a way if putting a nigga to sleep can't do it, because that's what everybody asks for when they be like, "How you gonna
Right.
die?" Like, nigga, just let me go in my
Yeah,
sleep.
just let me go to sleep.
If that shit ain't real, then there is none. Because you could be like, "Oh, you could drown a nigga. That's just a bucket of water," but that's inhumane
That
as
sounds
fuck.
awful. Yeah,
And
that
nigga
is
be all
awful.
like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's not electricity. I skipped over that, but that's obviously like they gotta take your
that's a
eyelids
horrible
down
one.
and put shit so they don't pop out of
That's a
people to spot.
horrible.
Right, so that ain't it. But that was the other option for so long. Good. So that's why I wanted to ask, because when I saw that, I was like, "Yo, Idaho is wilding to be. That's gonna be the main thing known for potatoes and popping
Yeah,
niggas and shit."
but like, but do you give them that drug that you said is also inhumane? Like, is there a humane way to kill someone without just like?
I don't know. There is, bro. You would.
I guess a bullet is the closest thing.
Right. Otherwise, the humane way to do it is to force them and wait for them to die in their sleep or to get some sort of condition, and that would only happen by keeping them in jail until such a time where they die. Because then you didn't kill them; you just made sure that they didn't.
Can't you give them medicine or something like that? Not medicine, but something that puts people to sleep.
Look, I watch forensic files all the fucking time. You could technically just slowly put motherfucking what's that shit called? Antifreeze in a nigga's food and then kill them over time. But that's apparently a really painful way to go too, because they just be thinking they sick and don't know why, and you're in the hospital.
Oh yeah,
for a couple days
they
and
do
you
get
die.
sick. Yeah,
So it's like a lot of that things that you would do to drug a person might make it worse than the drug cocktails they got now when they're putting you out via sleep. So I don't know, but what I do know is that was, to me, sounded very aggressive for a place that I never hear about, and it's also important for anybody watching this that's ever going to end up committing a crime. You might not want to do it in Idaho.
Yeah, you might not want to do it tonight.
Because they may be able to very cheaply get your ass the fuck up off of this planet.
What?
It's gonna take a couple bullets.
If they give you gas to put you to sleep, like you're doing surgery,
they could do that.
and then I don't know about this firing squad thing, but one gun, one bullet, and it's just like right next to the person's head.
That could actually be a good combo, because I've been knocked the fuck out for like dental surgery. And I didn't know
and that way
anything was
your sleep, you know, you're gone by that time.
That's
a horrible way.
That's the
It's a
way
horrible
they
thing
try to
think
make
about.
us think that the shit is now when they put you to sleep, but it's not. So yeah, if they could prove that they was using the right drugs, that it puts you down like for surgery,
just gas,
the right gas and drugs, then I'd be with that. Because after that, you can use anything.
Right.
You could shoot me, you could burn me, choke me, whatever the fuck. Like, I probably shouldn't feel none of it if I'm out under one of those drugs. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it is, in fact, you could probably put a person to sleep and then with gas, and then do the current version of putting a nigga out via the injections, and maybe that would be more humane because maybe they can't feel it. Or
Inhumane or humane. I wonder how that word came about. Like,
I feel like it to me, it just sounded like human. Like it's not human to be
right.
that
So
way.
that's what
They
I'm
wanted
saying.
to make it
So
sound
they're
more.
saying this is not humanly to kill this person this way,
Right, like
which
you
is
wanna-
wild to say. If you
Right,
think
it's like
about
so
our
there is a
history.
human way to do it. Like
Yeah, if you think about our history,
to be
it's-
nice.
humans
always
have
been
horrible
inhumane
to
with
one
murder
another
because it's killing. How do you?
That's not a great way to kill. But what I will say
add
is
humanity to murder and shit.
right. But what I will say is if someone you know, I guess, was shot and died that way, it's a horrible tragedy. It sucks. But if someone was stabbed and died that way, then it's a whole different kind of thing. It's a personal feel. Like if someone was stabbed 12 times versus shot 12 times, it's a whole different thing.
It is a different thing.
It's like it's like this. They got shot and they were probably scared and terrified. But this one is just like they were in a gruesome moment
and it guarantees proximity. The gun thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Proximity can vary widely.
Yeah, that's the issue.
The stabbing shit, like we gotta get right up this motherfucker.
Right. It's crazy.
It's just like, damn, you're just gonna look me in my shit and just keep going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because you know, party. I don't know how it feels to get stabbed, but you gotta be feeling wild about it. It's just like, is this how it's gonna happen?
Right.
Like we're within like fighting range, but I can't win because you got a knife and I got fists.
True.
So it's like I punched that nigga, but he stabbed me in the kidney, nigga. I had to lay down. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, yo, like I felt like I was dying.
Immediately red.
I'm strong, but he stabbed me, bitch.
Well, we were kind of talking about jail in some instances, so I guess we might as well talk about, the possibility of someone going to jail.
Can I just say one more thing real quick?
Yeah, do your thing.
Mississippi, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and Utah are already doing firing squads. Like that was been a law. I didn't know that.
They just haven't done it. Apparently, the last one was in the 2000s, right?
I don't know. I didn't look that part up, but I know that it's way more states than the fuck I thought.
Yeah,
would have firing squads, yo. That's interesting. And again, I'm not even against it necessarily. It's just like, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
I don't know that I'm against it. I don't know that I'm for it because I don't like death. I don't like the idea of having to put somebody to death. Making someone wait 25 years to kill them. It seems like a weird concept to me. Mm-hmm. I don't get any. But at the same time, if someone did some heinous act, then I might not be looking at them in this human kind of way. I don't know.
No, heinous shit. You know what
I mean? Yeah. Like someone does something to my family and then, it's... But, but I don't know this... Because, so, that's... Like, if you watch I think some movies have done this well where someone has done something or maybe they haven't done something and then they go... they're on death row and they get put to sleep. So you get to live with that kind of a character, and you get to feel sympathy for that person. But then I don't know. That's such a tricky way. It's like, ugh. That's such a tricky thing in that this society.
They light niggas up in the places that you would not think. Idaho and Utah, nigga. That's more. Yeah. Utah is like Mormon country. That's Karl Maloneville. They need to light his ass up. That shit's crazy, dog. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, I'm sorry. You wanted to talk about some more jail shit.
Well, I mean, this could be jail shit. I don't know. Right. It could just be all BS. Trump going to jail.
Bro, that's one of my topics. How'd you know?
Did I not
you
say
did.
that?
You said we probably got
I said that we were going to have one of the same things. You said, well, I don't know. So I know. I mean, you can't not.
You know me. Right. So, and as much as I don't enjoy talking about the same person over and over again, especially if I don't like them.
Well, fortunately, this podcast has only, been here for 5 episodes. And I think it's the first time, maybe second time it came up.
It's definitely at least the second time.
Right.
So I brought him up last week, unfortunately. But yeah.
So is it just a good media play? Is it a fear thing? Like, is he a little nervous and he's just trying to get ahead of the story? What do you think it is?
My intellect.
I mean, this is Monday, so he said Tuesday. He said tomorrow.
Right, he said it's going to happen tomorrow.
When this podcast is
So, yeah, I'm sorry. So, for those of y'all who might not have known and are watching us at the same time, starting last week sometime.
Saturday?
Saturday's
when he announced this.
Trump came out and said that he knows that he's going to get arrested on this Tuesday, which will be the 21st? 21st. So, he's predicting to be arrested on March 21st. By the time some of you were seeing this, that day will either be happening or have already passed. So I guess we'll know. But anyway, that's the background of what we're talking about right now. And
you know what he believes he's being arrested for?
For hush money?
For hush money.
Which is interesting.
It is interesting.
He thinks that it's about the hush money that he paid the chicks. I guess like Stormy Daniels and
Just
whoever
her.
else. Just Stormy.
I think it just stems from her because that was $100,000.
Yeah. And they talked about that openly before the election. But so my thing is, if it's worth putting him in jail for now, then how was he still able to be president then? Because we knew about that like exactly like a week or two before elections. It came out, and everybody was like, "Damn, that's crazy." And she had a book. She got interviewed. She had a lawyer. We all knew about it, and then this nigga got to run the country for mad years.
Right, but I don't know if being a felon takes you out of the run for presidency.
It does. It has to. You cannot have an open felony committed.
We need to look that up because I was listening today. Even the dude from Joe Exotic.
Mm-hmm.
He put in a bid to run for presidency.
He
from
did,
jail.
But he wasn't. No, the first time he tried to run for president, he hadn't been to jail. He wasn't in jail, and he hadn't been yet. If he put in a second bid, nobody ever heard about it.
He put in one like within a few weeks ago.
But
might have been this week.
Like he's gonna die in jail. Like he's not even.
He's
getting
just
out.
trying to figure his way. He's just trying to find
So
a way
I'm
out.
sure you can file paperwork, but you can't become the president. You said there's a difference between
I get
where
you.
you started and where you went. You said you can serve as president.
Did they ever make any laws?
Fam,
they probably never made laws.
There's no
because
way.
they never would have thought that anyone would elect.
I don't even think you can get on the panel of people to be elected if you have a past conviction of any kind. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I've never heard a nigga had to explain like, well, that was in college and we've all been there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, nigga, you stole a car. You can't be president because you fucking stole a car in 1972. You know what I'm saying? I think that's just a fucking.
They made it seem like he could still be president even if he was maybe.
I don't know the penalties that come with this particular charge.
Right.
Like I don't know. I've never.
I heard that they were pretty light.
Say that we didn't do things, so I don't know.
Yeah, I heard that they were pretty light. I mean, the issue isn't necessarily the hush money; it's where the hush money came from.
Oh, okay, because that's what I was gonna say. Because I'm like, yo, we're talking about what are we talking about? Because
like you can give someone hush money
if it's a light, like if you're gonna get arrested, but it's one of those like, we technically have to arrest people for that. Then yeah, maybe you can still be a president. Like maybe you can still be because you could probably still be a president with a certain type of misdemeanor.
Right.
So if this is a certain type of misdemeanor, if it's going to end up getting classified that way because of lawyers and then yeah, maybe he can still be president. But I suspect that if you commit a crime, that you should not be able to be like, I'm still president, though, bitch. Holler at me when I quit. Like
in this particular instance, yeah, I would agree with that because I mean the issue is that he used money from his campaign. Dollars to fund.
So that should stop you from being able to run.
That should kind of stop you because it means you have to do that whole process again.
Misappropriating money, right? You're already known for doing that shit.
And there's a left a bad paper trail. So
which is crazy because if he's so rich and shit, right?
He could have just paid out of his pocket.
Right? Why he use campaign?
I don't understand that either. But I wonder if
that's some arrogant shit. Is what it is.
This is one of those things where I just like don't know like what is rich like. Does it mean that you have that much money in your bank account, or does it mean that you have that much money in like stocks where no one will second guess? You can easily take loans out.
I guess.
Can he take $100 million loan out, or can he take a $30 million loan out versus actually having that kind of liquid?
Plus, I think there were times where he was blatantly misreporting his wealth, like for many times over a span of decades. So there's that too,
right?
Which is a new level. Right, because there's already, like you said, there's projected wealth, and then there's what's in your account right now.
Right.
But then there's also, we got to factor in with a grain of salt that some assholes will just lie and be like, oh, my Mar-a-Lago's worth $300 million, and then that one's worth $250, and then they appraise it, and it's like 75, which is real. That really happened. I don't know what the numbers actually were, but that's an example of shit that he really was doing. He was saying that the shit was worth shit that it wasn't, and saying it was historical and it wasn't. All kinds of shit, just whatever you can to trump up the value.
As far as a con, As far as a con, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, apparently that's how he got on in the beginning, just saying that he was what he was not.
His father also falsely estimated his wealth back when they used to do like the top richest whatever, and they would report in the magazines. Like sometimes back in the days in like the 80s and 90s, they would just ask.
Yeah.
And,
because
you would just report it and just be like, oh. with all the things I have, that's worth about that. And so they both have been falsifying the whole time.
Which is kind of brilliant if you're trying to become
to convince banks to give you more because they think it's something to borrow against.
To convince banks, to convince
but it's
celebrities.
fucked up though. It's smart and fucked up go together a lot, I guess. But it's still that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then that's the type of integrity that we had running the country, and it's the type that at least 50, if not more, % of the country can't wait to have opportunity to have again. And it's like, we don't even care about that kind of shit. Like, we're so far past, nobody cared then, nobody cares now. But why? Because there was a time where niggas wanted to get rid of a president because he got head outside of his marriage.
I know, right?
There's now a president that's going to get potentially arrested for smashing this bitch that definitely wasn't his wife, paying her not to do it, books about it, lawyers on it. We've been watching news stories about it for like 6 years, and there's still niggas like, yo, I would die for him. I would fucking die for him right now. But they wanted Billy's ass out of there for one fellatio bitch. And she wasn't even like a porn star. She was just a lady that was there when he was working late. And he's like, yo, I mean, yeah. Like that. We've been working together for a while, so now you're cute, but you weren't cute. When we first started working together, you was just like a bitch. So it's like, yo, why? Why did he have to get, like, niggas was furious. Like, he lied and said he didn't do it. This nigga lied a lot, yo, like a lot. And niggas
what's
love
worse?
This man.
What's worse? He definitely lied a lot, but he also, he kind of told the truth a lot too, which is not great.
But he told, like,
the areas where he told the truth.
Ugly, weird truths that should add to the fact that it makes you a bad person. Because telling the truth just to be a dick, it's not being told as the truth to be the truth. It's being told because you want to be a dick.
Right.
So it's like, even your good moments were like, fuck yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just wow, yo. And I get it. Because I'm sure there were people back then that were like, no, Bill's a good guy. Don't put him in jail. Yeah. But I don't think he had the following like Trump has. Trump has a following like I feel I've never
It's
seen.
a crazy following. I think for two reasons. You have just people who, don't necessarily know any better. But then you have people who are like, oh, you're going to give tax breaks? I'm with it.
Yeah. I mean, he speaks for the money people, but it's ironic because I feel like we're not in that place. Like most people
never
are here are not in a good financial spot. But I also feel like most of the people that vote for him are not in a great financial place.
They're not.
A lot of his people are middle America, and I'm not talking shit about middle America. They still have employment and homes and nice property pieces of land and all that good shit in a lot of instances. But there are a lot of people who are not rich that support him. Off the theory of like, well, one day I will be, and I don't want to be shackled like, causing my own futuristic shackles. Like, bitch, are you really going to be a millionaire?
There's that, and then there's just him saying that, he's not like regular politicians. He speaks a language that people can understand.
I'm not like most rich guys. Which is, look, if you listening to him talk on TV, you could absolutely buy into the fact that he's not like most guys because he's always saying shit that sounds like your brother or your uncle or somebody just says at dinner.
He's
like
oddly
just a
genuine.
Yeah,
like he doesn't seem like a real.
He's
person.
A liar,
right?
But the way he's saying what he says.
Well, but he seems like that person. Like,
yes,
you know what I mean. Like,
he's not putting on a different personality.
Yeah,
for
he's
sure.
not putting on a different person.
He's giving you the real him.
Well,
it's just the real
I don't even
him
know if it's the real him.
About things.
I see, because I think he's so into this character of Donald Trump that who knows who the actual person ever is anymore. But he is only one person. Whereas, like, if you put Kamala Harris or something like that on there, she's not going to be her normal self in front of cameras. She's just not going to do it.
I mean, that's possible.
Or like Cory Booker or something.
A lot. But all of these people are trash. It's like it's different levels of like shitty representatives, but none of these people are like, I'm feeling diehard. Like, yo, you're gonna do us right, and shit's gonna change, and we're gonna get respected worldwide, and da da da. It's like, nah. It's just going to be a different version of more of the same. It's just which side is going to be angry about it. You know what I mean? And which side is going to pretend that it's going perfectly fine for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Which I think we need to get off of. I think that would fix everything is if everybody would just be honest about what's working and what's not.
Yeah, just be open, honest. You know let's work our way back to the center. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but niggas want to be like, no, that's my side. It's like, fam, everybody's fucking up though.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? I still have a side that I lean towards morally, generally speaking, but it doesn't mean that them motherfuckers be right all the time about everything. And it's, you know,
I don't even have a side no more.
And the money part makes it like, yo, well, every party has a general basis at this current moment in time of what they're about, but it wasn't always that even. Like the shit be flip flopping and the shit that they value now wasn't always the value.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, I don't fucking know.
A lot. So the way that I'm just like, if you say things that I like, I'm willing to vote for you. I don't care whether you're a Democrat or Republican or independent. If you say something that I agree with, I'm with it. So, for instance, there was a Republican woman, I can't remember her name, who was running for mayor in Baltimore. She got my vote off of almost one thing, which was, I want to clean Baltimore streets. I don't want dirty Baltimore streets. I want to clean, because I think I was thinking about West. There was something about her that involved West Baltimore, but anyhow, she was talking about cleaning the streets, making sure the streets look decent. And she was talking about schooling, like you should be able to take your child to whatever school, no matter the zip code. Those are things I'm for.
Yeah, I'm not.
You got my vote.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it should definitely be more about
at.
like issues, you should be voting towards the issues or for the issues that speak to you and your community. But also 100%. To that point, that's why I've come to appreciate over the years that local politics is far more important.
Oh my God, far more important.
Like, honestly, it doesn't matter what I put down for the president, but it does matter what happens in my fucking district.
And
there's not enough news coverage
not even
about
the whole
it.
City, my district,
right? My
where
district.
I live at
the city,
yeah,
my district
where
matters
I live
to me, and it sucks because there's barely enough news coverage about. I mean, like when it comes to mayor and shit like that, the news will cover what's going on with those candidates.
Yeah,
no,
especially when it comes to judges.
Yeah, judges.
I don't know nothing
sheriff,
about these judges.
Magistrate,
how can I find
those
information?
extra roles, right? I'd be like, who the fuck? Like, I literally find myself trying to like look at the last name and be like, what's the likelihood that last name looks like this kind of person versus this kind of person? If it doesn't say D or R in front of it. Now I'm trying to picture what they would look like in the real world and be like, and that doesn't even help. Because just because I could guess what a person might look like, I still don't know their personality.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be an asshole that's that, whatever, or a good person that's that, whatever.
Well,
I mean,
this is one of the things that I was thinking about. And I was thinking, like, if I don't have nothing to do, maybe I should pick this up. Maybe I should do it. I'm sure someone's already doing it. We just haven't found them. Is we take control of that. We go try to seek these individuals out and have interviews. And if they're willing to give us an interview, you already know that they're trying to get that job. They don't, they're trying to, especially if you have views, maybe we or somebody needs to be doing that.
I'm not mad.
When it comes to
that
season,
investigative journalism.
When it comes to that season,
and shit,
we do investigative journalism. Find out whatever we can personally find out. Because sometimes I can find a couple reviews for a judge or something like that. But 2 reviews isn't really going to tell you everything. But it tells me enough to vote for the person because that's all I can find. Especially if they don't get. Sometimes someone does go out and do that, and they won't reach back out for a comment. So then it will leave that whole their category blank. So I still don't know who they are or what they're for. So that could be a whole thing, a whole process, whether it's filmed or whether it's just written, is that we go and have interviews with the people who are supposed to be on these ballots so we can try to get an idea of who these people are so we actually have someone and put it all in one place for everyone to go to. Yeah. That way people can do it as unbiased as possible. I asked this person this question and this is what they answered.
I want to say that one year when I went to vote, somebody I think sent me a link that had something similar to that.
That would be amazing.
It was like
I'm sure someone does it. I just don't know where it's at.
It was like you could toggle a thing and then it would drop down and show you some quotes that they said. And then you could go. Well, I haven't had something like that since like maybe the Hillary and Trump election.
Well, I did find that the past local election, but when they don't reach out for comment.
You're right, yeah, because there was some that said blank. It was like they didn't say nothing about this.
And especially if there's 2 people in this category and neither one of them said anything. This isn't helping.
That happened a lot. I do remember that was probably one of my issues because I was like, yo, it's like they didn't know they were supposed to fill this out.
At least someone give a report about whether it's their opinion or whatever. Give a report about this person.
Right,
preferably not their opinion. But give a report about this person. How long they've been doing this job. What's their percentage of getting things right? If that can be, put into a percentage. Like, let's figure these things out. Like, that's something that we could honestly do if no one else is doing that. That's something that needs to be done.
I'm just curious. Keep going.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what that one does. Yeah.
Just go back over here.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that normal?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. Interesting. Yeah, man. I agree. I wonder if I don't know why I haven't consulted whatever that link was more recently. I guess I forgot it existed until we started having this conversation.
So
Last time I went to vote, I remember being in there like, bitch, what? Like, who the fuck? Like, I was reading the laws that were trying to get passed, and I was, breaking those down for myself. But the people, I'm like, I don't know who any of these niggas are. And none of them had a commercial. And if they did,
none of them had a commercial.
Right? Like, what the fuck, man? I
don't like the commercials either, but at least you get to see the person.
Something. At least they'd have had something.
So commercials are so cringy and ill, and
because they don't really talk about themselves. They talk about shit about their most threatening opponent. I want to bring up a ring. Yeah, because that's like
talk about yourself. I don't care about your opponent. I'll go to your opponent for
right. And if you put out an ad about you, hopefully they just put out an ad about them, and then that's what we should be using.
Right.
But at whatever point that people were putting out ads that was half shitting on them, and then the end they're like, I'm not like that because I'm the shit. It's like, nigga, but what are you about though? Right. Like you're avoiding, you're burying the lead, bitch. All right. So we were just talking about the fact that Trump thinks he's gonna get arrested on the 21st. That was him trying to tell the future a little bit, right? If he's real. And, like you were kind of, I think, alluding to, if it doesn't happen, it could be that he just threw that out there because he's trying to rally his base and be like, y'all still fuck with me, right? Y'all got your boy. Y'all got me. They coming for your boy. Last time I said that,
they couldn't lock me up. They couldn't lock me up. They tried, but they couldn't lock me up.
Last time
which would be great for him to run on.
Put me out of the office, and you guys came and insurrected. So when I called,
that might be a great thing to run on. They tried to lock me up. They tried to stop us, but they can't.
You guys helped them see the truth. They know. They knew you were going to be my truth warriors.
Come on, give me your votes.
I'm back. Thanks to you, I can run again. So, anyway, he was trying to tell the future on that. I want to bring up a very random topic that might end up being brief. I was looking at an article. I don't know who it is. I don't have all of the details because I didn't care. I didn't want to research it, but we can't. But I just want to give y'all the headline so that we can talk about the concept of this. A time traveler, and I've been seeing a lot of these articles recently about time travelers coming to now and telling us what's going to happen in the future. But the most recent one I saw, there's a fucking time traveler that predicted our future, came back to tell us about it, and he says the aliens are going to conquer the Earth on March 23rd. Meaning we have 2 days, less than 2 days, I guess, to just be humans run by humans. So all that shit we just talking about Trump, if this nigga's right, in 2 days we gonna be like, all hail Megatron or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying?
What if Trump's the alien?
Well, that would explain a lot.
Because he was trying to take over for a long time last time, so maybe he's going to try to get it this time. Maybe this will give him some power.
Yeah. But yo, what if it's real? What if that's what's happening? What if because of all the exponential increase in UFOs or
I guess it depends on what it means. I mean, in America, I can't imagine us. You ain't gonna be able to control it. A lot of us would probably just rather die off before you can control all of us. Depending on if you want us to do horrible stuff, but maybe they want to control us and have fun.
Maybe they want to control us in a way that stops us from being destructive to ourselves.
That would be great.
But that's things that we won't like, especially Americans, because we still want it. I mean, it would be no different than some of the arguments among the left and the right.
Right.
Like the left, some of the left wants to eliminate meat and do plant food only and and that's like a fight to the death thing. Like niggas is like, I want my fucking bacon cheeseburger and it better be made out of bacon and cheeseburgers. You know what I'm saying? So if that was one of their things, it's like, yo, y'all gotta stop. There's too much greenhouse gases. These cows are farting and y'all are wasting water and we gotta stop the warming. So
can you waste water? Is that possible?
Fam, we are at a water shortage as an Earth. And there are some areas. It's not drinkable water. Like you have to have drinkable water for animals and humans to continue to exist. The Earth is water, but we don't have an effective way to desalinize or whatever the word is. We can't unsalt it, basically. There are people that are working on it. That's one of the most important projects that exists in science right now is people trying to find an efficient way to unsalt.
We need to in my head, it's just like you need the cleanest soil or the most natural soil possible, and that's the best filtration device that you can possibly have. Just
Okay.
let
I
the
don't know
water-
enough about filtration and shit to
I mean,
argue with
just
you about that.
let the horrible water or whatever run through that kind of dirt or that kind of soil, and it just takes a whole bunch of the the nasty stuff out.
Have you ever bought a water filter?
No,
Okay. I only ask because I would suspect that that's.
I mean it wouldn't be like clean. It wouldn't be like crazy clean
I wouldn't
water,
want to refill
but-
my Brita with just like go through the sand.
But you would rather have water that came from like regular dirt, like versus just poisoned water.
Well, yeah, but if the alternative is poison
I think
versus
some of because when it goes through the dirt, all of it won't go. All the water will leave some of that stuff behind as it travels through the
I
dirt.
just don't know how good of a filter dirt is on like microorganisms and shit that we can't see.
Well, yeah.
Like you can't.
Because it won't stay in the water. The water it can't stay there.
This is
I don't
like,
know this.
yo, the science that I
telling
know
you,
I'm not versed
I'm
enough, but
telling
I
you,
feel
dirt is like a filtration device.
it may be, but I don't know how effective it is for a human clean drinking water. It may be effective to a degree.
I mean, okay,
But-
human.
Sir, if that was all we needed, we wouldn't have advanced filters. Like we would just.
Well,
be
because
like,
we don't want to taste dirt.
So, are you suggesting that if you could get over the taste of dirt, that we could all have filtered water as long as we don't mind a little earthy to it?
Well, see, okay, so here's the thing about that is depending on how much you poison the water, and then then it gets really bad, right? Because because like, what's the first thing I said? You need a clean soil, right? So if all the soil is bad, then.
But another word for
Yeah.
dirty is soiled. So how do you get clean soil?
What?
Define clean. Are you saying non-infected with bacteria soil?
I'm saying like natural, just natural dirts versus the horrible stuff that we've added.
Okay, so we're talking like dirt, like sand in the ocean, as opposed to like the shit we throw in the landfill, or like as opposed to poisons and.
I'm talking about
contaminants.
dirt underneath grass.
Oh, you're talking okay. So the dirt that the worms are crawling through and
Yeah.
shitting in to create more dirt
Yeah,
is better than
it's natural.
as compared to what though? Is what I'm trying to base it so I
Oh,
can
as
say.
compared to like toxins, like plastic waste and whatever comes out of some of the plastic stuff
Okay.
that the sun beats off of.
All right. Well, yeah, I would definitely agree with you that the dirt is cleaner than those things. I just don't want it to be the only thing that's cleaning out my drinking.
That was like a 5-minute tangent of nothing with no facts.
Yo, it was, but that was incredible because what the fuck, fam? Apparently, niggas is just drinking sand water. My thing is, what if that? So back to what if it really happens? Like, I don't know, man. Like, what would you do? So if you knew,
It depends on what they're about. It depends on what they want from us. It depends on is it like we've seen in the movies where they want to conquer all,
Well,
or is it like, hey, we just want you guys to have fun?
Well, being that you don't know, I guess what my question is, if this turns out to be real, like, let me change the question. If you were a person that took what I just read to you seriously, what would you spend your next day and a half doing or working on so that no matter what they're about, you would feel as okay as you can? Now, mind you, the wording of this time traveler is allegedly conquer the earth. So if they're conquering it, to me, that gives a connotation of some negativity because we're not just going to willingly give it.
Right.
So something negative must come with that. But if you really believe what that person said, like if we watched the video and you was like, wow, this nigga's got some trinkets, and that looks futuristic. Because I'm thinking is like, why don't you come back with shit from the future to show us and then be like, yo, as real as this is my story.
That's what I'm saying. Conquer it does somewhat have a negative connotation, but maybe conquering is just coming like, hey, you guys
Need
should,
to let us
like if Jesus
reins.
Christ came back like, hey, you guys should follow me because I walk on water.
Right. There's
the way
somewhat
to
of a
conquer.
chance that could be the conquerors. Like, yo, we're gonna help you guys smooth it out.
Yeah.
The timetable shows that your species will be gone in 138 years. Or
Like,
something.
bro,
so
I'm nice with it. You're
hold
gonna
it down.
follow me because I'm nice with it. So just
Right,
do
and maybe
as
they can
I
show
say.
things like they just point out a digit
Right.
and it like shines some sort of healthy thing on some niggas cancerous shit on their face, and it heals.
He in the hill conquered.
Oh my God, it's alien Jesus! Right.
Somebody's like, I don't believe that goddamn juju. And then they kill that person right then and there.
And then that's the other convinced. They're super powerful and they're super helpful. Let's take the helpful side.
They're willing to heal us and they're willing to get rid of our stupidity.
Right, kill the niggas that didn't like that. So let's be niggas that like that. Yeah, all right, well, that's cool. So there's nothing that... It's kind of like if you had 24 hours to live vibe, if you were panicking, what would you do?
I think I would just want to be close to the people that I love. And other than that, I wouldn't really prepare. Maybe I get some good snacks. You never know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to die anyway, you might as well eat all the good junk food. Yeah. So yeah, I probably go to the store, get some good snacks, and just chill with the family, watch a movie.
Hope it's a good movie.
Yeah, while the world's being destroyed.
Just don't make it Independence
Sitting there watching TV. Oh God.
None of those and shit.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that. Good food and family. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, that's cool. That's true.
I think that's what I'm with.
All right, some aliens coming, boy. They might be here on Wednesday. We might not be able to have a pod next week, y'all. We're gonna have to check with Lord Klingon and the blocks. You know what I'm saying? But we'll try. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they'll let us.
We'll see.
They won't regulate our shit.
We'll see.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the time traveler. You got another thing for us? Because I don't want to keep focusing on this time traveler. He probably got too much of our attention.
Well, we can go to, like a semi-fun topic.
Okay.
The NBA.
Oh, shit. Another week of the NBA. What's cracking?
So, is there someone, I have someone in mind, but is there someone who is not a superstar in the NBA that you really, really enjoy?
That I enjoy?
Yeah, that you like.
Damn, there's probably a few. That caught me off guard a little bit. That's not.
Would you like to hear one of mine so you get an idea?
Yeah, go for it.
So, Austin Reeves.
Okay. Yeah.
And actually, I'm really starting to like this Lakers squad.
A lot of people are actually.
Vanderbilt. I really love both of their game.
Yeah.
Both of their game, it's solid. Like, those are the kind of players that you need. You need Austin Reeves who can put in work on a night where everyone else may be down. He can put in work and apparently get you 35 points. Although, not to knock it because, I couldn't do it. But the last 5 points were like some gimme free throws. I don't even know why Orlando fouled. Like, Orlando, you're not winning.
Right, like, what is he doing?
But it was closer than I thought. So maybe, who knows? That was a lot closer of a game than I thought. But also Vanderbilt is really, really good. I think that's his name, right? Number 2. I think his name is Vanderbilt.
I'm not as good with the exact naming as I used to be. Yeah. So, but damn, those are good ones. I feel like I probably have more historical players that I remember role players that I enjoyed a lot. But like, for example, I know he was on a good team, but I used to really enjoy watching Tayshaun Prince.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because it was like, he's not going to be the reason that y'all won, but in some ways, he's going to be the reason that you won.
In some ways. I love Tayshaun Prince.
That shit was so much fun, watching him track down blocks. That, like, the shit that LeBron can do occasionally where he tracks down a block and we go ape shit because he goes way up there and, like, claps it on the board. I feel like Tayshaun was one of my favorite at that. You know what I'm saying? I used to love watching him trail a nigga and be like, no bitch, fucking fast break.
He was good, man.
Like, that shit was cool. And, like, you know what I mean? I don't know that anybody would ever have wanted to, like, trade for and be like, we need that man. But, like, damned if you didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was really fun for me to watch. And I used to feel a little bit that way about Draymond, but he's kind of spoken himself into being a star, that and the fact that he's been winning rings with his team. But I used to think like that about him because I was like, he's not that big for a big guy, and
he puts in work
for whatever reason. Right, he's doing well at that position consistently this whole time. But otherwise, I think it's kind of like on any given night, if I'm watching a game, I'll start to feel that way about a person, and then I'll forget their name when I'm watching the next game. So I don't know. And
his name it's Jared Vanderbilt.
Okay, Jared.
Yeah, Tayshaun. I love Tayshaun.
That shit was so much fun, It's like, oh my God, watching a game for me, it especially would be cool when you got to watch like his Pistons play like the Stoudemire Suns.
Oh,
So it was it's gonna be either 127 to like 75.
Man,
or both.
That was a good era in basketball for me. Because that's what I grew up on. I loved that Phoenix team.
Yeah.
But I also enjoyed Detroit. My cousin really liked Detroit, but I love Big Ben.
Big Ben, bro.
Man, they had a squad.
Man, it was
a
like
squad that could play on both ends of the basketball too.
It was like that, yo. And Big Ben was like the first Draymond, but at least Big Ben was like big.
Yeah.
Draymond's like skinny Big Ben. He's got a big mouth.
Yeah, but I think that the thing with Big Ben was he was just crazy strong. Then again,
super strong.
Draymond's
and he positioned for rebounds in a great way. Like he kind of prepared for them, I guess, similar to Rodman vibe.
Yeah.
Like he kind of knew where to be.
Like you don't want to get hit
so
by
he didn't have to be the toss. Right. Because once he goes up and starts moving them fucking arms,
them elbows,
they wouldn't call them fouls like they are now. If they were calling fouls back then like they are now, then maybe it wouldn't have mattered so much. But you go in there and get hit by him and don't even get nothing for it. Fuck that. You're going to be on the bench for the rest of the night and have a migraine and your tooth got chipped and your bitch thinks you look funny and you didn't get the foul and y'all lost to a team that can't score and shit. Like, fuck. Hell no.
Tayshaun Prince is a good one, though.
Thank you. He was that. You know what I'm saying? And nobody...
He had a KD kind of shape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's not one of those people that people will talk about necessarily often, unless you're from Detroit. It probably happens, but...
And you never know now, because he could have been really, really good offensively, but back then it was like, hey, this is what we need from you.
Right, we got ripped already, and fucking.
This is what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Or it's a little different now. I think it's still kind of like that now, unless you're not gonna get a great chance at playing point if Stephen Curry's in the game. But if he's out, they might let you,
When that Bridges dude left. Fucking did he leave to come to Brooklyn, Mikal Bridges, or did he leave the Suns to come?
Oh yeah, he was on
wherever
the Suns.
he went, he's good now.
He got traded from the Suns. Well, see, that's the thing. When they needed him to score,
he would at the Suns.
He was.
That's my point. It's like I think when you see a player like that, that's what a good team will go take him and be like, yo, if we need a scorer, let's take a nigga that they're not allowing to score and tell him to come score over here.
I thought that he was going to be good in Brooklyn because he gets to, be more open now that they don't have a superstar.
Right. So Ben is not that.
Yeah, you got
They say Ben's coming back before the season's over. Do you believe it? Because he's still out with that sore ass knee.
I forgot he was even out. I mean,
he's out again with a sore knee. His points were going down again, and then they just sat his ass down.
Once again, like I said, I don't really care about his points, but you gotta affect
everything was going down.
You're Ben Simmons. You gotta
all of it was going down. And then now he said it was his knee, so they said, all right, now have a fucking seat.
But they got him, they got Mikal Bridges, they got Thomas, they got the other Curry. So they got some people who can really score.
Absolutely. All right, so to keep us bouncing through here, I'm going to bring up something totally random again.
Cool, let's go.
I'm watching our time.
Let's rock.
From previous episodes. I just wanted to mention this.
Penn's points.
One of Penn's points. I didn't even specify that that's what you're doing. Penn's points and L's threes. So this doesn't even necessarily going to turn into a long topic either. But it was something that I saw today, and I thought that it might uplift a couple people listening or watching this at some point. I read an article, or I reviewed an article, rather, that said that AI, artificial intelligence, which we talked about recently, has developed a potential treatment for liver cancer. And it also is predicting patient life expectancy. I think that's pretty fucking cool.
Predicting patient life expectancy?
So I guess for things that there isn't a cure for,
it's like, hey, you're going to,
it's able to somehow determine, like, yo, you probably, better than a doctor. Like, I guess if you're in that type of dreadful scenario and you ask the doc and they're like, I give you about 6 months to a year. Apparently AI has found a way to be like, nah, nigga, 4 months and 2 weeks. There is no 6 months to, like, that's just a wild figure.
It's still hard for me to believe.
It is, but it's also hard for me to believe a random doctor saying, I give it less than 4 months. Like, how the fuck would you know? True. Like, you know what I'm saying? Are you basing it on how many of your patients have died from this? Like, how, you know what I mean? Like, how do you know? Well, is it in a book?
I guess, so it depends on how, so the way that they might be looking at it is like,
nobody I've seen with this amount of symptoms has been able to survive.
Yeah, like between their experience, history, and like just the mechanics of the human body, if you would look at it that way.
Well, so what I would suggest is based on your and I's previous conversation about AI and the fact that supposedly the way most of AI is taught is through huge subsets of data.
Yeah, AI will be good at that.
The subsets of data that it should be fed about that specifically is all of the reports from a massive amount of doctors from a massive amount of countries. And if you force feed all that in. Like if you could put all of the information from every doctor, like at least 20 doctors in every country for every year for the past 40 years, and then compile that much data and put it in one doctor's brain, then I would let that one doctor specifically tell me to my face, you have 6 months and 2 weeks to live.
Right.
So to me, if that's what AI is a collection of all of the previous data. Right. So it's not just one doctor's collection plus what he's read over his life, but it's every doctor's version of that mashed into one, or however much they could feed to the AI. Then I'm totally willing to trust them more than Dr. Jubanowitz, no matter how long I've been seeing this nigga. Because he's just a fucking guy. And if he could tell me, then he should know how the fuck long he has. Because he's, you know what I mean?
And some, like, I get that argument. I think for me, it's just like, I don't want to believe something that isn't human about human activities.
But see, is it not human though? Because at this stage in AI, it's just a collection of human data that's able to give you the results. It's almost like a spreadsheet, but it talks back in text, and then we know how to convert text into audio easily. So for me, AI is not quite AI yet. Like when it becomes sentient, that's AI. To me, that's the true artificial intelligence that's coming up with thoughts based on its own. Like it's taking the data and then it's making its own thoughts. I think right now where AI is at is it's taking data only that you give it. It's not allowed to go find its own. So it can only take what you give it. And then it's saying, oh, well, this is basically a summary of what all of that shit just told me. I think when that changes, then I'll have trouble accepting it. Because it's like, nah, you're trying to lean on your own understanding. Right now, it's just data. It was just something that we as humans can't do. As much as we try to stand on just data, I think our emotions and feelings and opinions always
I think that's what it is. The fact that this thing is telling me with no emotion that this is going to happen is the thing that's like...
To me, if a doctor can say to you 6 months to a year, that year is the emotion creeping in. Because you can't tell me I only have 6 months, but also I might have a year because you didn't have the guts to just tell me like, nigga, you could go any day now. If I were you, I would go order your favorite meal tonight. Like that's what the fuck. But you can't say that to somebody. That's bad bedside manner, and they're gonna like throw a fit and it with their family and with other staff and make a big deal about it and waste the end of their life trying to get you in trouble. So you gotta say shit with your feelings plus fact, like, oh, I don't give this nigga long, but I gotta give him a range. Because I'm not Jesus, is hard. And I gotta,
Seeing it in person is hard because then because now the way that I started looking at it, because some of these things happened to me recently, is that you're listening to these doctors and what they tell you, and you're also realizing that this is their job. Mm-hmm. That they have to put this voice on and everything to sound a little sad.
Right.
And maybe they are, because it's not great, but at the end of the day, it is business to them, unfortunately.
Not only that.
So it's such a weird thing when you're going through the moment, and then you're just looking at someone like, this isn't authentic.
Because they have to present you with such delicate information at times.
Yeah.
That's a hard job. I think this about everyone.
For it, but that's a hard job.
Right. I think this about every profession, because when I'm at work, I know how I feel, and I know how much I don't feel like doing it at whatever time of the day or on whatever day it is. I know how much I'd rather be off. Right. I know how much I might want to bullshit my way through a task or cut a corner if I could. Like, not to say that I'm a horrible employee, but I just saying things that happen to people that work randomly all the time. Like on any given day, it's like, yo, I just have a headache today. I don't feel like it. Or I'm looking forward to lunch, da-da-da. And I think about that shit when I'm like talking to a doctor or somebody and I'm asking them an important question, but I also know it's like 11:38 and I'm like, this nigga wants his salad. Right. But here I am being like, are you sure? Because I read an article that was like, it shouldn't look like this. Right. And he's like, bitch, I went to school for this. Fuck you. Right, I'm stressed out. My wife is arguing with me. My goddamn kid got in trouble. I just got a call about that. Like, there's so many things
low
going
power,
on. Right.
Please charge it.
And
okay, so
it's finally warning us. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck was that? All right, so yeah, so I think about that because I'm like, yo, no matter what your job is and how important it is to me or to whomever it's important to, at the end of the day, you're at work right now and you don't want to be. Because when you're not at work, you're going to be doing something else. You're going to be drinking a beer or talking to a friend, fucking getting chores done.
Work becomes work.
So
in most cases, I mean. It becomes some sort of regular.
Right. So no matter how important it is, if you're the paramedic, if you're the fucking, whatever, if you're answering my life questions, whatever your job is, no matter how vital it is to me, you're at work and you don't fucking want to be. And I think about that. And because of that, I also think about that when you're giving me important information. So if I'm calling a mortgage company and I'm like, yo, this is important because if I get the wrong form or whatever it is, right?
I'm about to lose my house.
And they just tell you like, oh yeah, and it's like, bitch, you probably don't even like you. Yeah. You don't have a house, like you don't even know, or it's certainly not through this bank or whatever. It's like, fam, you're just working, right? Like, is this a call center, nigga? Like, are you getting paid $14 an hour to help me save my home?
Right.
And you don't know me?
Low power, please charge it.
So, you know what I'm saying? I think about shit like that. So to me, the AI thing could be cool because the AI doesn't know that it's being made to do things. It's not a thing. It's just a collection of data.
Yeah, it's just, and we all know that it's just doing its thing. It's not
right. It's just a data collection, but it's able to tell you what it summarized off of that collection. You know what I'm saying? To
bring it full circle, kind of, because we started off talking about death, but now we can start off, bring it back to life, because the fact that it can say, talk about how to cure, we should say liver.
Let me make sure. Yeah, liver cancer.
Yeah, so that to actually give us life. I mean, who doesn't want that?
Yeah, yo.
In most cases.
I fucking love that shit.
I mean, the whatever can help us, have better lives, not necessarily longer lives.
Increase the quality while we're here. Right. I'm not here for a long time.
Yeah, for a good time.
All right. Did you have another L3 before I bring up my thing? Because we're right around that point.
Yeah, we're right. I'll go with yours. And,
all right, cool. This one probably won't be too long either. I just wanted to mention.
Low power, please charge it.
And we definitely got it. So.
I wonder if everyone can hear that.
I hope not. That would be wild.
I'm pretty sure they probably can.
I don't think so. But, I hope not. And we're going to have to call up these people and be like, fam, why would you make that a feature?
Why would you? Why would you do
that? You know this is for podcast, bitch. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
All right, so real quick, and this was on today, I believe, and y'all probably already know because it happened today, and by the time you see this, it's old news, but Biden signed a bill to declassify the information about where COVID started. So apparently there's information about it, but it was classified. It'll now be declassified.
That's good.
And the thing that I read says that it's going to be declassified information related to the origins of COVID-19, including potential links to the Wuhan Institute of Virology.
Awesome.
And the first thing I thought when I read that was, I haven't heard the word Wuhan in years now. Like, first it was like a big thing, and then it was considered racist to even mention it.
Yeah.
And then it
Which
just
was interesting
never got said again, like, until right now, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm like, damn, they back on the Wuhan?
Yeah.
Shit! So I just wanted to say that. So I'm like,
low power, please charge
it. For the niggas that was like saying that the left was trying to bury the China thing.
And
I mean, the right that was saying that, like, it's like, well, I guess. I mean, it's some of the approach, I guess, back then was coming across in a very racist way and a very degrading way. But it turns out, as we've, I think, discussed not that long ago, that they're still kind of sourcing this back to a lab leak somewhere over there.
But a lot of diseases typically have a name based on where they come from. So that's what made that one a little weird.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, this one seems to just be the COVID keeps like the number goes up based on the degree or change or variant of said whatever. So I guess there's been a lot of coronaviruses over the years.
Yeah, I mean, I think they even said the common cold has a little bit of a little bit of that in it.
Because when you read some Lysol bottles, ones that even came out prior to 2019, it would say like this can work effectively against the coronavirus, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
Like I've had this bottle for a minute. Because when it first came, I already had some Lysol in the house, and I was reading it like,
what?
Is this a simulation? Like, how have we done this shit before? Like, fam, come on, where the aliens at? Come behind the curtain.
Low power, please charge it.
So, I just wanted to mention that for anybody who didn't catch it, that's going to be declassified.
When is there a date?
I didn't read the rest of it.
I would like to hear what all the news. But journalists, to me, if you will,
if people are excited
talking about that, I'm excited
and riled up about it. If he signed it today, that shit should start popping up by tomorrow somewhere.
I would like to see that. I want. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I thought you would be. I kind of saved that for you specifically.
I mean, even though it doesn't really mean anything because we're kind of over it by this point. But it's just one of those things where it's like, so these people were right this whole time. You guys were wrong.
Yeah, and it's hard to improve on things in the future if you don't know what went wrong in the past. So even though it's old, it's like we still should know. It's
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
Man, that shit was bad, yo. Like,
I don't even know why that has to be classified information.
Right, it should have never been. I was kind of mad when I saw that it was being declassified because I was offended that it was classified.
Yeah, that's.
So I'm like, nigga, we all
this
suffered.
is our health, yeah.
So we all wanted to know immediately, not like after a little buffer zone.
You're trying to figure it out, like
calm down, and then
safe?
We'll tell you.
How can we make this safe to tell them what happened?
Right, it's never gonna.
Low power
that
place
shit is
charging.
bullshit. Like I don't know, man. I just think that was interesting. But anyway, allegedly they're gonna tell us the truth now.
Hopefully,
whatever that means.
The truth is coming. Speaking of which, I'm in a play that is called The Truth.
Oh,
or it might actually be called Truth. I believe it's just called Truth.
Y'all make sure that y'all get in tune with that play because I know that shit gonna be fire.
It will be a church play. We'll be at church.
Yeah, get your Jesus on.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say it or not, but I mean, you know how many views we have.
Hallelujah.
So I think we'll be fine.
Yeah. Hell yeah, you'll be fine. You should be allowed to promote items that you are participating in.
You know it's gonna be. It's very, very well written. I think it could go places. You know, who knows? Maybe we'll be on Broadway soon.
Yeah, I like the sound of that shit, man. Just make sure you don't forget about the little guys. You know what I'm saying? When you get there.
This guy's gonna be.
Just saying, man.
This guy right here. I got something going. You got something going.
When
it comes to
you
music.
can if you want. I was actually starting to plan.
No, I'm saying if I got
music.
something going.
Oh, you meant like on
Low
the don't
power
forget the little
place
guy
charging.
shit. Okay,
Yeah,
well, I appreciate it.
Like I think we talked about this. Like they used to say this all. Like this happened so often back in the day. Where like I'm not going to take the whole group, but I'll take you. Sign me up.
Right.
Sign me up, because then I'll go holler at my guys and they can help me write what we got. We can make a whole little team. And you ain't even got to know about it.
Did you ever watch the VH1? I forget what they were calling it, but you remember when they were doing all the movies about the different musicians?
Mm-hmm.
They had a 3-part series about New Edition.
I think I did watch all of it. It took me a while to get completely through it. I don't know if I finished it.
That shit was super entertaining to me, but I only bought it up because that was one of the things in the first
exactly,
episodes.
exactly,
Like,
yeah.
We don't really want your little nigga friends, but you're awesome.
Yeah.
And he was like, you gotta take my nigga friends.
I'm going for that deal, and I'll try to invite the ones who aren't offended back in.
All right.
I'll find a position for you, and we're gonna make it happen. And then you can still don't lose hope. You can still, if you really want to do music, you can still continue to write. And whenever we
Low
get a chance
power
to place
place
you,
charging.
you get placed.
Right.
But if you're gonna be like offended, oh no, you ain't gonna be my boss, or you ain't gonna like, all right, well then it's just not that I'm trying to be your boss, but it's like we're gonna try to get some work done.
Yeah.
You know, we at the end of the day, I still need songs written. Not that I can't write them, but it'd be nice if you could help me write them and you could get paid.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I ain't mad.
Same and vice versa. I'd be okay with that deal too. Like, hey, they don't want you in the group, L, but you can come and give me some hook ideas and I'll pay you for it. Boom, done. So.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, as long as people are able to get creative shit out there and eat off of it if possible, that's like kind of a win-win, regardless of what it looks like physically. So I feel
100%. That's the way I'm rocking with it. But you got anything going? Is it time to get up out of here?
For me, yeah, it's definitely time to go. Same shits as usual, you know what I'm saying? First of all, check out our TikTok channel. We got a TikTok channel running. We haven't always had that. So you can follow that at Gawd's Music, GAWDS. I don't know why I haven't mentioned that most of these weeks, but check out our TikTok because we
Low
be doing
power
some fun
place
shit.
charging.
And we be putting y'all down with stuff that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I got this album coming out. This God's album should be out this summer. So keep a
Pretty
lookout
dope
for
project.
that.
Some really, really cool songs on there.
Hell yeah. So that's kind of the majority of what I got right now. Come check out this Saturday. If you're in Baltimore, come down to the power plant. Come check out Pink Elephants. That's our peoples. They're going to be performing. That shit should be chill.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It should be a good time. But that's it, man. As always, just check out, our projects. L3's got a project out. Check out that Forbidden Fruit.
Forbidden Fruit. Make sure you put Forbidden Fruit L3. If not, you put in Forbidden Fruit. J. Cole's got a bigger name than I got at the moment.
Right. Y'all
so
gonna
he'll
fuck
come
that all
up.
the way up.
But you put in Forbidden Fruit L3, you get some pretty good music to go ahead and rock out to.
Yeah, man.
So my mama like it.
So y'all gonna love it. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of mamas, go ahead and cop that Gloria too. That's streaming everywhere. Gloria by Gods.
Absolutely.
Shout out, miss my mom, so check out the
Low
album.
power please charge it.
I don't know, man. Other than that, just check us out next week. And we're gonna keep coming back to y'all. I'm probably going to. Are you about to pull up something? I was gonna
I got
see
you.
if the speakers can catch me.
If you
It
got
don't
something.
matter.
I was just gonna play it with our intro out.
Okay, all right,
We
yeah,
outta
yo.
here.
It's been real. Shout out to the lives. We appreciate y'all.
Islam says we shouldn't date. These emotions are just too much for the weak to take. It's chaos that we create. Murderous ways, trust me, I can't